This is Mamuni. Thank you so much for being Amar Baba.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to discuss how to solve a single column cash book. So let's get started. Chalo, shuru kara jak. So here is the problem. Let's go through the problem. Enter the following transactions of Mamuni in her cash book single column and balance the same at the end of the month. So this is the format of single column cash book. Cash book has two equally divided sides. One is debit side, one is credit side. Debit side is written on the left hand side and credit side is written on the right hand side. Cash book is nothing but a cash account. Okay, and we know how to prepare ledger account and cash account because I've already taught you how to prepare cash account. On the debit side, how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, on the credit side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Debit side has 5 columns and similarly credit side has 5 columns also. The first column is for date, month and the year of the transaction is recorded in this column. Similarly, date, month and the year of the transaction is recorded here also. And the second column, that is particulars or receipts, the name of the account in respect of which cash has been received is written here. In this column, particulars or payments, the name of the account in respect of payments has been made is written here. Third column is V number or voucher number. What is voucher number? The serial number of the voucher certifying the receipt is written in this column. Similarly, on the credit side, V number of voucher number is the serial number of the voucher certifying the payments is written in this column. Understood? The fourth column is LA for ledger folio. That is the page number of ledger. Similarly, LF here also means the page number of ledger. This is the amount column. Amount of the transaction is recorded in this column. Similarly, here also the amount of the transaction is recorded here. So understood? Always remember, on the debit side, particulars means all the cash receipts are recorded on the debit side. All the cash payments are recorded on the credit side. Understood? Here, no journal entry is open and no cash account is opened in the ledger because cash book serves the purpose of journal as well as the purpose of ledger. Understood? So, we straight away write the journal in the cash book. See, on 1st April, balance of cash in hand 1000 is given. Since opening balance of cash is given, we'll have to write on the debit side to balance BD 1000. Okay. So here no journal entry is taking place. Let's write on 1st April to balance BD 1000. Okay. 1st April to balance BD 1000. Okay. On the debit side, we record cash receipts and on the credit side, we record payments. Okay. And another thing, please remember, single column cash book does not record checks received and checks paid. And the single column cash book does not record cash discount allowed and cash discount received. Single column cash book only records cash receipts and cash payments. Okay, let's see the second transaction. The second transaction is on 4th April, sold goods for cash 4000. So what is the journal? Cash account debit to sales account. So cash account is debit and sales account is credit. So what is the position of cash? I have taught you ledger account. Since cash account is debit, sales account will always be on the debit side. Our cash boite cash ashena. Okay. So the journal will be on 4th April, cash account debit to sales account 4000. So let's write to sales account on 4th April 4000. 4th April to sales account. To sales account 4000. Okay. So on the debit side, we'll always start with to. On the credit side, we will always start with by. Just like the cash account. Okay. So cash received will be recorded on the debit side. Cash paid is recorded on the credit side. Understood? On 4th April, goods sold for cash 4000. So the journal entry will be cash account, debit to sales account. Why sales is on the debit side? Because since cash account is on the debit side, the opposite account will be on the debit side as well. আমি আগেই বলেছিলাম যেহেতু ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট ডেবিট অপোজিট সাইডে কে আছে সেলস অ্যাকাউন্ট তাহলে সেলস অ্যাকাউন্টও ডেবিটে বসবে ঠিক আছে অ্যান্ড মোর ওভার তুমি যখন গুডস সেল করছো তুমি কি পাচ্ছ তুমি ক্যাশ পাচ্ছ তাই ক্যাশ কামস ইন তাহলে কোথায় রেকর্ড করতে হয় ডেবিট অ্যাকর্ডিং টু রিয়েল অ্যাকাউন্ট হোয়াট কামস ইন ইজ ডেবিট বিকজ ক্যাশ বুক ফলস আন্ডার রিয়েল অ্যাকাউন্ট হোয়াট কামস ইন ইজ ডেবিট তো to sales account debit 4000 and always you have to write narration being goods sold for cash. Always we have to write narration after every entry. This is necessary because the cash book serves the purpose of a book of original entry or journal. Because we are writing transactions straight away in the cash book. So cash book serves the purpose of a book of original entry or journal. I know many people don't write narration, but writing narration is a must in the exam, otherwise marks will be deducted. Okay, so let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 5th April purchase goods for cash 2000. So what is the journal entry? এখানে goods purchase হয়েছে 2000 on 5th April. So the journal entry will be purchases account debit. I told you whenever goods are mentioned, ignore goods. Purchases account debit to cash account. What is the position of cash? Cash account is on the credit side. So purchases will be on the credit side. So let's write by. Always start with by. By purchases account. By purchases account. How much? 2000. Being goods purchased for cash. In a bracket. Just like a journal. Okay. Now, moreover, যখন আমরা গুডস পারচেস করছি কি চলে যাচ্ছে ক্যাশ গোজ আউট সো অ্যাকর্ডিং টু রিয়েল অ্যাকাউন্ট হোয়াট গোজ আউট ইজ ক্রেডিট আন্ডারস্টুড সো আমরা পারচেসকে ক্রেডিটে লিখলাম ওকে সো লেটস সি দ্য নেক্সট ট্রানজ্যাকশন দ্য নেক্সট ট্রানজ্যাকশন ইজ on 8th April commission paid 500. What is the journal entry? Commission account debit to cash account. What is the position of cash account? Cash account is on the credit side. So commission will be also on the credit side. And moreover, যখন আমরা commission payment করছি তখন কি হচ্ছে ক্যাশ চলে যাচ্ছে so according to real account what goes out is credit তাহলে by commission হবে আর journal entryতে কি হচ্ছে journal entryতে হচ্ছে commission account debit to cash account cash account কোথায় cash account creditে so we'll write by commission cash account কোথায় creditে commission কোথায় debitে so since we are preparing cash book or cash account so we'll have to look from the point of view of cash account. So since cash account is on the credit side, we'll write commission on the credit side as well. Okay, so let's write commission account. April 8th by commission account. How much? 500. Being commission paid. আমরা জার্নালটা কি করে করছি স্ট্রেট অ্যাওয়ে করছি উই আর নট রাইটিং জার্নাল উই আর স্ট্রেট অ্যাওয়ে writing journal in the cash book. Okay, so let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 9th April collected from Mr. Sen rupees 5,000. Okay, this is the book of Mamuni. So Mamuni is receiving cash from Mr. Sen 5,000. So what will be the journal entry? Cash account debit to Mr. Sen. So what is the position of cash account? Cash account debit আছে, তাহলে Mr. Sen কেও ডেবিটে লিখতে হবে to Mr. Sen. And moreover, according to real account, what comes in is debit. এখানে Mr. Sen এর থেকে মামুনি ক্যাশ পাচ্ছে 5,000. So cash is coming in. So according to real account, what comes in is debit. তো আমরা কি লিখবো? আমরা লিখবো on 9th April to Mr. Sen account 5,000. Okay, so let's write on 9th April to Mr. Sen account 5,000 being cash received from Mr. Sen. Okay, so now let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 12th April, rent paid rupees 1,500. So what is the journal entry? The journal entry is rent account debit to cash account 1,500. So what is the position of cash account? Position of the cash account is credit. So rent account will also be on the credit side. Okay, and moreover, since আমরা যখন rent payment করছি কি যাচ্ছে? Cash চলে যাচ্ছে. According to real account, what goes out is credit. আমরা কি লিখবো cash book এ? By rent account. Let's write by rent account 1,500 on 12th April. Okay, so on 12th April, by rent account being rent paid. কত? How much is rent paid? 1,500. Always remember, cash book এ cash account আসে না. Please remember, cash account will never appear in cash book. Okay, and moreover, since cash book comes under real account, according to real account, what goes out is credit. যখন তুমি rent payment করছো কি হচ্ছে? Cash চলে যাচ্ছে. So rent account will be credited. Cash payments are recorded here and cash receipts are recorded here. Okay, so remember, cash payments are always recorded on the credit side and cash receipts are recorded on the debit side. No credit transactions are recorded in the cash book, be it a single column, be it a double column, or be it a triple column. Okay, so only cash transactions are recorded here. And moreover, in the single column, no cash discount allowed is recorded here. No cash discount received is recorded here. No checks received is recorded in the single column. No checks paid is recorded in the single column. Okay, because here is only one column and that is only for cash receipts and cash payments, because there is no bank column. Okay, understood? So let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 14th April, electricity charges paid 1,200. So what is the journal entry for electricity charges paid? So the journal entry will be electricity account debit to cash account. What is the position of cash account? Since we are preparing cash account, we have to look at the position of cash account. Since cash account is on the credit side, electricity will be also on the credit side. So we'll have to write on 14th April, by electricity account 1,200. Okay, so let's write on 14th April by, and we always have to write by on the credit side. Why? Because every debit entry in the cash book is started with the word to, and every credit entry will be started with the word by, because cash book is nothing but a cash account. It's a ledger account as well as a journal. That is the reason we are writing narration. Okay, actually cash book is a journalized ledger. That is the reason, see, we are writing ledger folio. Had it been a ledger account, we would not have written ledger folio. We would have written LF. যে কোনো ledger account আমরা কি লিখি এখানে? Journal folio, JF. Since cash book is also a journal, that is the reason we are writing LF. Do you remember? Do you get my point? Had it been a ledger account only, we would have written journal folio and not ledger folio. Since cash book is a journal also, that is the reason we are writing LF. Remember cash account আমরা কি লিখতাম? JF. ledger account always journal folio হয়, আর জার্নালে কি হয়? অলওয়েজ ledger folio. তাহলে ক্যাশ, এটা যদি ক্যাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট হয় তাহলে এখানে ledger folio কেন লিখছি? এখানে জার্নাল folio লিখতে পারতাম। তার মানে ক্যাশ বুক ইজ এ জার্নাল অ্যাজ ওয়েল অ্যাজ এ লেজার। যেহেতু এটা জার্নাল, তাই জন্য আমরা ন্যারেশনও লিখছি, আবার লেজার ফোলিও লিখছি। আর এটা লেজার কেন? ওয়াই ক্যাশ বুক ইজ এ লেজার? সি, ক্যাশ বুক হ্যাজ টু ইকুয়ালি ডিভাইডেড সাইড, one debit side, one credit side, just like the ledger, and every debit entry is started with the word to, and every credit entry is started with the word by, and then we'll have to balance it also like the ledger account. Okay, so the cash book is a journalized ledger. It's a journal as well as a ledger. Okay, so by electricity account, how much? 1200. So let's write narration. Being narration is a must, otherwise marks will be deducted. Being electricity charges paid. Charges paid. What is the next transaction? The next transaction is on 16th April, collection from Pooja, 2800. So what is the journal? Journal will be cash account debit to Pooja account. Collection means money, cash. So cash account debit to Pooja account. What is the position of cash? Cash account is on the debit side, so Pooja will be also on the debit side. So let's write on 16th April to Pooja account. Pooja account. How much? 2800. Let's write the narration. Being cash received from Pooja. Cash received from Pooja. By the way, why is electricity credit over cash book comes under real account? What goes out is credit. আমরা যখন electricity payment করছি কি হচ্ছে? Cash চলে যাচ্ছে. That is the reason also 1200 will be credited. Here we are receiving cash from Pooja. Since cash book is a real account, what comes in is debit. So cash receive করছি 2800. So 2800 will be debited. যখনই ক্যাশ তুমি রিসিভ করবে, ডেবিট হবে, ক্যাশ চলে যাবে, ক্রেডিট হবে। All cash receipts are recorded on the debit side. All cash payments will be recorded on the credit side. What comes in মানে কি? ক্যাশ যখনই আসবে রেকর্ড করবে ডেবিট সাইডে, ক্যাশ পেমেন্ট যখন হবে রেকর্ড করবে ক্রেডিট সাইডে। বাট তুমি কি লিখবে? টু সেলস অ্যাকাউন্ট, তার জন্য তো জার্নাল জানতে হবে। টু সেলস অ্যাকাউন্ট। ওকে, দিস ইজ দ্য রিজন ইউ গট টু নো জার্নাল অলসো। ফর এক্সাম্পল, এখানে কি আছে? কালেকশন ফ্রম পূজা। সো হোয়াট উইল উই রাইট? টু কালেকশন অ্যাকাউন্ট। ইউ ক্যান্ট রাইট টু কালেকশন অ্যাকাউন্ট। সো তোমাকে জার্নালও জানতে হবে। হোয়াট উইল ইউ রাইট? টু কালেকশন অ্যাকাউন্ট ইউ ক্যান্ট রাইট। So you have to write to Pooja account. So that is the reason I've taught you journal also. So I hope you remember. So let's see the next transaction. The next transaction is on 25th April, paid salaries to staff rupees 1800. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be salaries account debit to cash account. What is the position of cash account? Since cash account is on the credit, we'll write salaries account on the credit. Let's write by salaries 1800. By salaries account 1800. What is the date? 25th April. Let's write narration. Being salaries paid. And moreover, cash book comes under real account. What goes out is credit. যখন তুমি স্যালারিজ পেমেন্ট করছো কি হচ্ছে, ক্যাশ চলে যাচ্ছে। So 1800 will be credited. Understood? And let's see the last transaction. The last transaction is on 30th April, cash sells rupees 2200. So goods sold for rupees 2200. So what is the journal entry? The journal entry will be cash account debit to sales account. What is the position of cash? The position of cash is debit. Since we are preparing cash account, we'll have to look from the position of cash. Since cash account is on the debit side, sales account will be on the debit side too. So let's write to sales account 2200. Okay, on 30th April to sales account 2200. What is the narration? Being goods sold for cash. Moreover, cash book comes under real account. So what comes in is debit. মামনি যখন goods sell করছে কি হচ্ছে, cash আসছে. So what comes in is debit. So 2200 will be debited. Now let's calculate the total of debit column and the total of credit column. Okay, the total of debit column is 15,000 and the total of credit column is 7,000. So আমাদের রুলস কি, যেটা বড় হবে সেটা লিখতে হবে, কিন্তু ক্রেডিট সাইড কি ব্যালেন্স হলো না। সো আমাকে ব্যালেন্স করতে হবে। দেয়ার উইল বি আ ব্যালেন্সিং ফিগার অন দ্য ক্রেডিট সাইড বিকজ দেয়ার ইজ এ শর্টফল। Shortfall koto? The total of debit column is 15,000 and the total of credit column is 7,000. So deduct the total of credit column from the debit column. So deduct 7,000 from 15,000, you'll get 8,000. So you'll have to write by balance CD. I have already taught you ledger account, so you know how to write. By balance CD 8,000. By balance CD 8,000, always the last day in the month of April. এটা যদি মে হতো তাহলে 31st হতো। Okay, so on 30th April, by balance CD 8,000. Understood? Always remember, usually the debit column of the cash book is greater than the credit column. So the difference will be written as by balance CD 8,000. Okay? And now this closing balance 8,000 will become the opening balance of the next day. So to balance BD, we have to write beneath the debit total. I've already taught you. I hope you remember. Same amount 8,000. Karo business ta mamuni shut down koreni. She has not closed her business. So a closing 8,000 money ki. This is the closing cash. Cash in hand 8,000. এটা ওর রিসিট সাইড, এটা ওর পেমেন্ট সাইড। তো রিসিট সাইডে ও 15,000 ক্যাশ টোটাল ও পেয়েছে, আর পেমেন্ট কত করেছে 7,000। সো 15,000 থেকে 7,000 চলে গেলে হোয়াট ইজ ইন ওর হ্যান্ড, ওর কাছে 8,000 আছে। 15,000 ওর টোটাল রিসিটস, ওর টোটাল পেমেন্ট কত 7,000। তো 15,000 থেকে 7,000 যদি ডিডাক্ট করে, আমনির কাছে ক্যাশ ইন হ্যান্ড কত আছে 8,000। বাই ব্যালেন্স ইডি মিনস ক্লোজিং ক্যাশ, ক্যাশ ইন হ্যান্ড ওর কাছে 8,000 আছে এখন। তো 8,000 ওর নেক্সট ডে আবার বিজনেসটা কন্টিনিউ করবে, বিজনেস তো বন্ধ করেনি। তো হোয়াট ইজ দ্য নেক্সট ডে, 1st মে। তো 1st মে যখন ও বিজনেস শুরু করবে ওর কাছে 8,000 আছে। দিস ক্লোজিং ক্যাশ 8,000 will become Mamuni's opening cash on 1st May. Understood? This is single column cash book. I hope you understood. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your precious time. I sincerely hope this was helpful. And before I fade out, please remember, invest in education because there is no substitute for education. Education is knowledge. Knowledge is an asset and no one can take away this asset from you. So education and knowledge pays the best interest in life. Bye bye. Take care, stay safe, and stay blessed always.